This was a human walrus stitched together with tens of thousands of sutures. After his legs were cut off, they were made into a fishtail, his palms transformed into fins, and the two tendons from his legs were polished by the old man into ivory. Seeing his own transformed body, the man screamed for help, but his tongue had been cut out, and no matter how hard he tried, he could not speak. At this moment, the stitched wounds were still oozing blood, yet the old man commanded the man to swim like a walrus. He activated a mechanism that forcibly dragged the man into the pool. Watching the man struggle, the old man jumped up in excitement. This was unbearably cruel, but all of it was the man's own doing. A few days earlier, Brighton had been a radio host. His show often shared strange stories or other people's suffering to gain listeners. That day, he saw a reckless video in which a young man had chopped off his own legs. Brighton and a colleague laughed hysterically and shared the video online for others' amusement, also mocking the young man in comments. Unexpectedly, this struck a chord with viewers. In less than a day, the video surpassed tens of millions of views. Brighton decided to interview the young man about his sudden fame. In reality, the young man could not bear the online abuse and ended up committing suicide. When Brighton learned of this, he did not feel guilty. Instead, he complained to his listeners about why the young man hadn't waited until after the interview to die, unaware that this moment would ruin his life. One day, Brighton saw an intriguing flyer claiming someone had experienced a fantastic sea adventure involving a walrus. The flyer promised an absolutely spectacular story. Brighton was immediately captivated. He called the contact number and, following the address, arrived overnight at a mansion in the mountains. The owner was an elderly man in a wheelchair. He poured Brighton a cup of tea and began to tell his story. The old man revealed that during World War II, he had been a chef on a warship. During a naval battle, he was the sole survivor, saved by a walrus. Suddenly, Brighton felt dizzy and collapsed to the ground. When he awoke, he found himself sitting in a wheelchair. His lower legs were numb. Pulling back the blanket, he was shocked to see the old man grinding his leg bones and shaping them into walrus tusks. The old man deceived Brighton, claiming that a venomous spider had bitten his legs the night before. He said that the situation had been so urgent that amputation had been necessary. Brighton did not believe him. He was not a 3-year-old child, and his phone was missing from his pocket. At dinner, the old man dropped the pretense, declaring that he had a special hobby. He liked turning people into walruses. Brighton was the 17th lucky victim. Panic set in. He could not believe such a perverse thing could happen to him. Cursing the old man as a madman and a pervert, screaming desperately for help, the old man slapped him and warned him that they were in the middle of nowhere. Not a single streetlight existed for miles around, let alone any help. He instructed Brighton to obey. But at midnight, Brighton, taking advantage of the old man's sleep, found his phone and called his girlfriend for help. The call went unanswered. Because his friend was helping dye a hat, Brighton left a voicemail, warning that an old man was turning him into a walrus and asking her to call the police. Before he could provide the exact address, the old man struck him from behind, knocking him unconscious. The old man placed Brighton on an operating table, prepared his tools, and followed a walrus diagram on the wall. Stitch by stitch, he began the transformation. By morning, Brighton had lost his original appearance and had become a human walrus sewn together with tens of thousands of needles. His nightmare truly began, accompanied by helpless screams.